Hi, I'm Mindy. I'm the project manager for our 5th Information Security Summit, Spotlight on Cloud. We have here Philip. He's the board member of Cloud Security Alliance Malaysia. Hi, Philip. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. First and foremost, can I just ask you, what is the topic that you'll be presenting later?
Well, today I'm speaking on cloud and specifically focusing on the landscape in Malaysia and also how ready are we in Malaysia in terms of the organizations, in terms of the government, and basically what are the ways forward in terms of cloud in Malaysia.
Okay. Based on your presentation slides, at what level we are at right now in terms of cloud adoption?
Well, recently there's been a study done for the Asia-Pacific region on the Cloud Readiness Index. And Malaysia fared fairly well in that sense. We came out 8th in the region. So actually for 2 of the areas that we were actually scored at, we scored one of the highest. That is in terms of cybersecurity and in terms of business sophistication, which means that in terms of business, we are ready. But what we are lacking in Malaysia is the infrastructure. Okay, based on the study done, Malaysia still needs to invest a little bit more in terms of infrastructure and specifically, very clearly, our broadband connectivity. It's still not on par with what international standards of that are there. So connectivity and broadband could be an hindering issue in terms of cloud, because cloud requires you to have good bandwidth, and without having good bandwidth, then we would people would be reluctant to use cloud, because why should I put my data on the cloud and then people can't access it, and people say that it's so slow and all that. So we need to improve on the infrastructure.
I mean, other than the 2 challenges that you mentioned just now, are there any other challenges or any other factors that are hindering people from using cloud?
I think that everybody's question is still cybersecurity.
That's true.
Security and privacy would be an issue, and people are questioning that. Now, I'm specifically have been in the cybersecurity field for the past 15 years, and I think that Malaysia has come a long way, and we are doing pretty well in cybersecurity. I think it's just that building confidence in people is taking time. People are still unsure. Like, I've been doing, say for example, online banking practically, the last so many years I can think of. I don't even go to the banks anymore. I buy stuff online all the time. So people are not confident because they don't feel that their data is secured because of the things they hear online. So I think that we need to create confidence in people. We need to show that these are the things that we are doing in this country that makes it safe and secure. But then again, yes, there is no 100% security. So I think that in terms of security, we are doing pretty well. In fact, we ranked the highest in security in this region.
I see.
Yes. So like I said, it's not the 2 things that we ranked the highest was cybersecurity and business sophistication. So security was ranked the number 1 for us. So I think that we have all the things in place already. It's now for people to adopt it, to understand that it is safe, and for business to actually implement, the cloud in this country.
All right. Because I read an article earlier, it says that because some of us think that cloud is not that safe, but I read an article. The article actually said that cloud is actually safer than traditional IT systems. What do you think of this?
I think it's very subjective. I think it's very subjective. I think in anything that we do, when we talk of how safe or whether it's not safe, it depends on the infrastructure we are on. So as long as we understand, for many years now, when I've been doing IT security, I always tell people, like, for example, when you go online, where do you go if you want to buy books? You would go to a reputable organization like Amazon or Barnes and Noble. These people have, that they are big. They have put in a lot of investments in security for the infrastructure. But if you go to a ABC company to buy books, then it is questionable. So I think that whether it's secured or not, safer or whichever, it depends on where you go. So I personally wouldn't say one is better than the other. I think that both can be equally safe if we know where to go and we know how to protect ourselves online. For example, banks in Malaysia, I used to be on the internet banking task force in Malaysia, and that was the time when banking was online banking was growing in Malaysia. And at that time, a lot of banks did not put measures in yet to teach people how to protect themselves. Banks have put in the measures, but it always ends up that the user side is not protected. So, on the user, so when the users don't know how to protect themselves, then their passwords get stolen. Like for example, a very simple thing. Why would you want to go to Starbucks and sit down there and do your online banking? It's an open Wi-Fi. It's so easily, things are transmitted using clear text, not encrypted and stuff like that. So again, it's best practices. How we promote best practices is very important. So banks started doing that. That's why every time you go to an online banking site, the first thing that you see is tells you don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and all that. Yeah, so that were the measures. They did it for some time. Now they don't do that. Now you see, like if you go to Maybank, that thing doesn't come out anymore because they did it for a certain period of time, and they feel that okay, now I've already educated the users. New users will be told in advance. So people need to know how to protect themselves. It's a two-way thing. It's not just the organizations that's providing the service, but it's also the user must know how to protect themselves.
I agree. Okay, but okay, let's say I'm a new organization and I just started using cloud. What are the things that we should not move to cloud?
I think that today we are talking about hybrid clouds. When we talk about hybrid clouds, the basic things about hybrid clouds are a combination of private and public clouds. So you need to know, it's just like traditional IT systems where you have your DMZ zones and all these things. So similarly, in private and public clouds, it works the same way. It's very, very simple. Why is it called private cloud? It's for you to put confidential information inside there. It's your own private things. So you don't make that accessible to the public outside. Then the public cloud is where you actually put the stuff that you want the public to access. So knowing how to incorporate this cloud strategy is very important. I think it all boils down to your strategy. Like, if an organization just comes out there, creates a cloud and dumps everything in there, and then tomorrow they cry and say that, oh, my data got stolen, my customers' data. Why on earth is your customers' data on your public cloud, first of all?
That's true.
Yeah, so you need to know how to basically organize. Your strategy is very important. Your design phase is very important. It works same thing as software development to cloud as well as implementation of all these infrastructures. I think that one of the biggest lacking thing in many of this development work is the planning process and the design phase. And that is why today we are advocating things like security by design. That means at the design stage itself, you have security. It should not be an afterthought.
That's true.
So many people, security becomes an afterthought. After putting in everything in place, oh, how do we protect our data? It's wrong. It should be done from the very, very first stage itself. How do we protect our information? How do you protect our critical data? So, and first of all, organizations must understand what is critical data, what is private data, and that thing, first of all, remove it out. It should not be anywhere near the public access. So, I would say that it's a whole strategy in the development and implementation of cloud. When you get your development, your strategy in place correctly, then you will see that you have a good model in place, and that's where you create confidence in providing a service to your customers.
All right. What are the key areas that people should look at in choosing the right cloud for their organization?
I think that first thing is to understand what business you want to provide. Okay. And then because like some people are doing it, whether it's service oriented, is it something that you want to provide as an e-commerce site. So understanding your business first of all, and then only understanding which model that you want to use. Because at the end of the day, cloud, the main thing about cloud is you want to provide scalability for your business. So tomorrow, when you expand and you want to provide accessibility from anywhere, anytime, that's the whole idea. So depending on the business, if your business requires you to have this kind of things in place, then you should choose the right kind of platform that you want. It doesn't have to be every single business must be on the cloud, because sometimes you don't need to be on the cloud. So if you need, then you need to understand what is your business, what do you want to achieve from your business, and how critical is your data, how private is your data, what kind of environment. For example, if you're doing government services, government stores a lot of critical information. But if the government is providing services to the public, then that particular services would be on the cloud itself. So choosing the right cloud would whether you want to whether it's going to be a service, whether it's going to be your infrastructure provider. So then you choose the right platform that you want to go on.
Anyway, just the last question. Are there any business, any industry that you think should not use cloud? Is there any industry that's not suitable to use cloud?
Well, that's hard to say. I think, of course, today, I always use myself as an example. Whenever I'm going to do something, buy something, or look for something, the first thing I do is go online and see whether this thing is available there. And if possible, I mean, I don't know whether I'm lazy or I'm just an IT guy, but I like to sit down on my chair and be able to do everything that I want to do there. So, like I said, if I can buy something online, I'll buy. Yeah, it's so convenient. Like I said, I don't go to the banks anymore and all that. So yeah, I think that businesses should move to the cloud, but I think that if your business is really, really critical, for example, like say the energy sector or oil and gas sector, let's just say in Malaysia here, say we take TNB, Tenaga Nasional. TNB is a there are certain things like they are in a critical. You don't want people to have access to your power grids and stuff like that. So definitely those things are never going to be on the cloud. But then TNB also provides like payment systems, and people want to find out information. Those could be basic things that you can put it on the cloud and people can access it anytime, anywhere. So I think that every business should find a way to get themselves on the cloud, but really, really the strategy of what goes on the cloud.
They should plan ahead.
Yeah, they should plan ahead that as long as the critical site has no access whatsoever, it has to be separated out. Then I think they are safe.
All right. Thank you so much for your
You're welcome.
time. I wish you a fruitful conference.
Thank you very much.